Hello and thanks for joining us for THV 11 News at noon. I'm Jurnee Taylor. Here are the stories we're following right now. A racially motivated shooting in Florida over the weekend leaves 3 dead. What we know about the shooter this afternoon in less than 3 minutes. And today marks the 60th anniversary of the March on Washington at 12:08. We're sharing how the event is remembered in Arkansas, plus how you can commemorate the milestone at home tonight. But first, a big change to the Arkansas Razorback season kickoff in Little Rock this weekend. Saturday's game at War Memorial was scheduled to start at 3, but kickoff has been moved to noon due to the heat. In a statement from the University of Arkansas, the change will allow for safer conditions for the student athletes on the field and fans in attendance. More on that decision tonight at 5 and 6. And we have a lot to talk about before that big game on Saturday. Meteorologist Scott Covert joins us. Good afternoon. Before we even acknowledge the return of the intense heat, can we at least talk about this somewhat nice temps that we have right now?
Jurnee, we can and we should do just that, but I got to tell you, I applaud the U of A for that decision. I was looking at the forecast temperatures for Saturday afternoon, and it was going to be blazing hot. Here this afternoon, it actually feels pretty comfortable. We're sitting only at 86 degrees in the capital city, 85, the current number in Hot Springs, 84 in Searcy. It feels wonderful outside. Not just are our temperatures lower, but we actually have some winds that are out of the northeast, about 10, upwards of 15 miles per hour at a time, so a bit breezy. But because they're out of the northeast, they're drawing in some lower humidity, and that just makes it feel so much more refreshing out there. Today's forecast calls for a high of 90 degrees. We'll continue to see partly cloudy skies. That low humidity, it'll be with us for a few days. But then as we go about the course of the week, those temperatures gradually getting hotter and hotter until you know it, we're back in those upper 90s by this weekend. Meanwhile, we aren't expecting much at all in the way of rain chances. There could be some changes in the long term. I've got a look at that for you coming up in right at 15 minutes.
Thank you, Scott. Well, we start this hour in Pine Bluff where one person is dead and another is in critical condition following a shooting in Pine Bluff. Officers say it happened a little after 1 a.m. on North Hutchinson Street, a few blocks north of Dollarway Road. When they arrived on the scene, they found a 21-year-old man who'd been shot but was able to talk to police. Officers then found a second victim, a woman, in the parking lot of a nearby apartment complex. They say she was unresponsive, and the Jefferson County Coroner's Office pronounced her dead on the scene. The shooting is under investigation, and police haven't identified any suspects. The search for a missing man over the weekend focusing on Perry County. The mother of Amir Ellis, Jessica Ellis, tells THV 11 she learned what happened to her son by attending recent court hearings for kidnapping suspects. That led to the area where they searched over the weekend. Officials are still analyzing everything they learned from Saturday's search. Another racist attack in America. The FBI is investigating the deadly shooting at a Dollar General in Jacksonville on Saturday as a hate crime. The gunman was white and he obtained the guns legally. All 3 victims were black. President Biden condemned the shooting, saying white supremacy has no place in America. Manuel Bajorquez is in Jacksonville.
In times like these.
Just steps from the scene of the deadly Dollar General store shooting in Jacksonville, hundreds gathered Sunday to honor the victims and voice their outrage.
We cannot tolerate hate against our black community. We simply cannot and will not tolerate it.
Among the 3 people killed was Gerald Gallion, who was shot as he entered the store. He leaves behind a 4-year-old daughter.
How do you even begin to explain to her what happened?
We haven't.
You haven't?
She doesn't know yet.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
We're trying to figure out the words to tell her because she was a daddy's girl.
LaTiffany Gallion is the victim's sister.
He was a loving guy.
A loving
he
guy.
was a devoted father. He'd do anything for his daughter. And for him to get up and wake up and his life get ended, it's not fair.
Surveillance video captured 21-year-old Ryan Christopher Palmeter walking up to the store just after 1 p.m. Saturday and taking aim at his first victim in the parking lot. Authorities say he wore a face covering, latex gloves, and a bulletproof vest under his shirt. He was also armed with 2 firearms, including an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle covered with swastikas.
When you see him walk out on the sidewalk and he points that gun at that car, He fired 11 rounds at that car. He did not give any warning. He just did it.
Authorities say during the shooting, the gunman, who lived with his parents, texted his father and told him to break into his bedroom. There, his father found a suicide note, a will, and writings Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters described as racist.
The manifesto is quite frankly, the diary of a madman. He was just completely irrational.
Before the shooting, authorities say the gunman was spotted at Edward Waters University. That's less than a mile from the store here. He was spotted by a security guard who thought he looked suspicious. That guard alerted a nearby deputy, and that deputy was just about to alert others when the shooting happened. Manuel Bojorquez, CBS News, Jacksonville.
Well, this morning, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis announced Edward Waters University is getting $1 million to increase security, while family members of the shooting victims are getting $100,000. An investigation is underway today after University of South Carolina Jr. was shot and killed after he apparently tried to enter the wrong house. Authorities say early Saturday morning, police received a call about a home burglary 2 miles from campus that led to gunshots. 20-year-old Nicholas D'Onofrio was found by first responders on the front porch. This was on the same street he lived in on an off-campus fraternity house. Of at least 3 U.S. Marines killed, 20 others and injured in an Osprey crash on a remote island in northern Australia are beginning to learn the devastating news. This is the hospital in Darwin, Australia, where U.S. Marines are getting treatment after an Osprey similar to these crashed on Melville Island. At least 5 were critically hurt.
We are unable to comment on the conditions of those that remain in hospital out of respect to them and to their families. But what I can assure their families is that they are getting the best care possible.
The military aircraft with 23 Marines on board went down just after the pilot radioed in an emergency. It was one of 2 taking part in a 12-day international exercise involving troops from 5 countries. Another military aircraft crashed near San Diego Thursday, killing the pilot. Last year, 9 Marines died in 2 different accidents involving Ospreys. Attorneys for former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows head to federal court in Georgia. It is the first hearing in the Georgia state election interference case against former President Donald Trump and 18 co-defendants. Meadows is seeking to have his state case moved to federal court. He has denied any wrongdoing. Finally, the price of medical cannabis has fallen steadily throughout the year in Arkansas. The State Department of Finance and Administration reports prices are down over the first 6 months, despite sales rising just as steadily. The average price per pound last year was about $5,500. By June, it was down to about $4,500. In terms of sales, Arkansas dispensaries sold just over 4,200 pounds per month last year. In June, they sold more than 5,100 pounds. Tonight, the city of Little Rock is holding another public meeting to discuss a proposed sales tax increase. The mayor and city board will talk to people who live in Ward 5 at Fellowship Bible Church on Kirk Road. On Wednesday, they'll hold their final meeting with people in Ward 3. They'll be at Christ Little Rock Church on Hughes Street. Both will start at 6 p.m. Today marks 60 years since the March on Washington. To commemorate, the Arkansas MLK Commission is hosting a special event. It features a reenactment of Dr. King's speech where students from around the state pay tribute. THV11's Craig O'Neill is delivering the keynote address. The event kicked off this morning on the state capitol steps at 10 a.m. We'll have more on that tonight at 5 and 6. New technology is allowing families to measure the impacts of air quality and extreme heat inside their home. More on this special sensor coming up.
Oh, it's a beautiful day across the natural state. You've got partly cloudy skies out there, but it just feels so much better than the oppressive heat and the humidity that plagued Arkansas for several days. While it's nice now, I'm afraid to tell you, the summer heat is not done with us just yet. I'll let you know when it returns and just how hot it's going to get coming up when THV11 News at noon returns.